Hey, everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about what just happened with the markets. I'm going to share the screen in a second. We're going to talk about Powell and what he just said about the 50 basis point hike. And is this just absolutely, I'm going to be honest with you, I have a feeling in the pit of my gut that is telling me something's not right. Now we know that something's not right. That's why you come to this channel or to other channels on YouTube to get real information, right? And get perspectives from people that are investing and where they're at in their minds and their investing lives, right? The reason why I say that is because we've seen so many of these up days, and we know that the Federal Reserve is doing nothing to fix the situation. And you know what? Before I give you my commentary, my thoughts, I'm going to read this story. So we're going to share the screen real quick. All right, so this is obviously out of CNBC, and this is right here. Markets turned down, and of course, they always need a reason, right? They need a scapegoat, they need a patsy, they need a narrative, right? So today they pick it up here, and they blame the Powell statements, right? And it says Powell says taming inflation absolutely essential, and a 50 basis point hike possible for May. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I am so fired up and pissed. Powell, you're a coward. You're a straight up coward. Like let's call a spade a spade. You lost control. Your mandate for the Federal Reserve was to keep inflation over a certain amount. I don't remember, was it 2%? It's a joke, right? You lost control. You printed way too much money. I get it. You're a private bank, and this is what you do. Every time you print money, you get to lend it out at interest and it comes back, right? You're destroying the currency. Copy. We get that. This is all just lies. Yeah, sure. Powell says taming inflation is absolutely essential. Well, I got an idea, Powell. Hey, Jerome, why don't you just straight up raise rates right now? No, you're not going to do that because you know what's going to happen. And yes, are you going to do it eventually? Yes, we're going to do it little by little because the market, quite frankly, is very fragile, right? And a little 50-point basis hike ain't going to do crap. Let's just call a spade a spade. All right. And you know what? I'm also not going to give you a real answer. I'm going to say it's possible. It's possible. Now, guys, I want people to understand this. When the Federal Reserve started raising rates after the dot-com bust, they first lowered them to help spur the economy, and it did. And then they started to raise. What we found is there was a breaking point, just very similar to, that was the 2003 to 2006 rate hike cycle. Then we saw the same breaking point when the Fed started raising rates after the Lehman Brothers collapse in 2015, and they were only able to get Fed funds rate from 0.25% or 25 basis points to around 2.25%. Right. And that was the breaking point. The market could not handle it because debt couldn't be serviced easily when the Fed funds rate was at 2.25%. Now, the thing is that people need to realize, home mortgages aren't based solely off of the Fed rate rising or lowering, but it is affected. It's the long-term effects, right? Other factors affect mortgage rates, credit card rates, things like that. But we know for sure when the Fed starts a rate hike cycle that it is going to start moving all interest rates up eventually, right? And the reason why it's very important to realize what happened in the past after the dot-com bust, and they started raising rates and they broke the back of the MBS market. Then you saw the rate raising hike cycle, in 2018 or 2015 to 2018. And then we saw the Dow Jones clip, 19 to 22%, something like that, in a matter of 3 months, from October of 2018 to, I want to say it was Christmas Eve, right? And then they immediately went to a loosening, a dovish sort of cycle, right? Lowering rates. This is the truth. When the Lehman Brothers crisis happened and they had rates at a certain percent, I don't remember what the Fed funds rate was at that point, they had multiple bullets in the chamber that they could eject and fire into the economy and go, boom, here you go, lower rates 0.25 point, boom, lower rates half of 50 basis points, 0.5% essentially. And they had those in the chamber. They have nothing right now. To say that this is the time to be preparing, and I'm not joking, like hands and fists, like people all the time go, I'm on a fixed income. Cool, work an extra day, figure something out, sell something in your house. I'm not joking. Like, don't think this is financial advice. This is life advice. When you start to see these things, and these are all, they're laughing at people. They like, hey, here you go. It's absolutely essential. Well, cool. Why don't you go do your job? Why don't you jump on top of this right now? Why don't you raise rates like Volcker did? And he had to raise it above what was at that time believed to be the real inflation numbers, right? Because even in the early 80s, CPI was getting messed with, all right? But to compare it to today is absolutely blowing my mind. Here, let's do this. And sorry that this is more turning into a rant, but there are some people that really need to hear this. It's very, very important. This is the day. You have kabuki theater. You have, this is all fake. All right. The wealthy people are moving out of the markets. They are moving into tangible assets like commodities. They are buying up land. They're buying water. They're doing all kinds of stuff, you know? And so a lot of people ask me, what can I do? And I go buy a silver coin. If you don't have a silver coin at this point, you're sort of lost. I mean, honestly, like it's just something that's real, tangible. It's in your hands. You hold it, you own it. You know what I mean? I know I've talked about vaulting because that's for people that have a lot of money and they don't live that kind of lifestyle where they can go squirrel hole it, you know, under a tree or something like that. Right. The wealthy vault their metals. All right. And I just don't know how to explain that to people. When you're wealthy, it's just a totally different mindset. Right. And what I want to do is show people how to become wealthy, to change your mindset. And so telling people you should go buy a silver ounce is not investment advice. If that is investment advice, one silver ounce, whether they cost them 30, 35 bucks right now, then you've got bigger problems, quite frankly. So don't take this as financial advice, but if people think that is like, you should go buy a silver coin. That's like me telling somebody like, dude, you see that new video game? That's really awesome. I won't ever tell you that, but like, hey, you should go try that game. It's like 50 bucks. Was that financial advice? But you're out 50 bucks. And you've lost a lot, wasted your time away. This is getting nutty. And the Fed is not going to jump on top of inflation. It's going to get worse. And you know it by their lack of decision-making. You see, it's really funny. The way the Fed works, they jawbone, they like to tease the markets. They know which way it's going because they know where their policy's heading. And they position themselves right. The wealthy people position themselves right. And then what happens is there's emergency meetings when everything crashes. There should be emergency meetings right now. Like, hey, the president came out and said there's gonna be food shortages. Oh, hey, inflation's rising. It's boom, exponential. I would not be surprised. And guys, mark this down. The next number of CPI are actual double digits. We actually break 10%. I would not be surprised. And the reason why is because we're seeing the wholesale numbers jumping up. I think, what did we just see this last month? 11%, 11.2, if memory serves me right. Well, eventually we're going to see those numbers in the CPI because the wholesalers are going to are raising their rates. They're raising their prices. It's going to hit Main Street. You already know where this is headed. And to sit there and see the stock market come down off of its highs because Powell says, we got to get on top of this. Or we're right on it. We'll do it next month. This is insane. So right now you've got a battle. Bears versus bulls. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know my left and right. I'm in this camp. And yes, it's a bear's butt. I'm not in this set. Oh, geez, you're gonna have fun with that one. I didn't even mean to say that. But my point being is this: I'm not a bull right now. I'm a bear on certain things like real estate prices with interest rates exploding, mortgage rates. I'm a bear when it comes to equities. When you see literally numbers that are reminiscent of .com level price to earnings ratios. There's nothing left there. We know the derivatives are exploding. There's so many derivatives out there on the stock market. It's insane. You need things of real wealth. And I think that's very important. So I hope you guys got something from this because yes, sometimes it's a rant style, but people need to like go, okay, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one thinking this. And hey guys, if you buy that silver coin, I mean, I'm not even joking. You actually own something. Very few people actually own things. We need to be owners of things. Ninja Nation needs to own things. And when this crash happens, I want the ownership level to be notched up literally 100x, because why wouldn't you take advantage of the greatest collapse ever? And trust me, you know, a lot of people go, not a lot of people, some people are like, I can't believe you'd make money off of people's misfortunes. No, they're idiots because everybody's being warned. Everybody's seeing the signposts right now. This is very serious times. Do I think there's a crash coming tomorrow? No. But do I think that every day you're being robbed through inflation? Yes. Do I believe that you could literally go down to the store right now and buy a canned good, a thing of green beans, and that on a percentage basis over the next year will outperform the stock market on a percentage basis? If we don't have hyperinflation, yes, I believe it will. Well, no, actually with hyperinflation, that canned good will still probably outperform the stock market, just like it did in Venezuela. When the stock market was going up thousands and thousands of percent, but food is going up thousands and thousands of percent +2. You know what I mean? Or ×1 or whatever the algebra equation is. I don't know math. I'm a ninja. You see my point. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. If you did, please share this video because it's important to get this information out to the masses. All right, guys, that being said, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.